Yeah.
All right, we back in this thing, man. So basically, all that happened is I saved hands, and now I went back to drink with them boys. Saved hands, ran in the rags at Kabula. That's pretty much it. Let's see. You think that ain't getting warm? We're getting rid of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do what we talked about?
Aye, of course. Well, this doesn't seem too bad.
All right.
It's filthy again.
Here we are. Good.
You having a bloody into the soup?
No, why the hell do they pour the beer
Courage!
on the table?
I have a bit of...
What game would you?
I actually do.
You couldn't go out no badge, boy.
Now just this.
So, how did your trial by fire go last night?
Well, I still have both my shoes. I woke up in bed alone and it wasn't even full of puke. So I suppose it was a success?
I'm jealous. At my age, a hangover is almost as bad as getting shot in the arse.
You always drink like that.
Almost always. The mornings are hard, but at least you clear your head. And often your stomach, too.
So what's next, now that your band is back together?
Well, I've got Kubienka, Adar, and Janos. It's not much, but it'll have to do. Now we just have to figure out how to give hell to Sigismund.
What am I to do?
Why did they want to hang you?
I reckon my face bothered them. More likely they're pissed off I'm not a hypocritical fucker like they are.
And that's a reason for execution?
Unlike the hypocrites in the League of Lords, I'm not ashamed of what I am.
I know they call you Dry Devil.
Aye, they call me a lot of things, laddie. And that's what rankles the Lords, that I'm getting rich at their expense. And that's some fucking fat loot they stole from the king.
So you're on the king's side?
I'm on the... And I'll tell you one thing. I've never gone back on my word. My noble word is my oath. Unlike that of bastards like von Bergau or von Rosenborg.
Have you been at war?
Aye, I fought in Moravia, and I'm still the hetman of the royal city of Znaim. You're just a yokel. So you hardly know what's been going on in the kingdom these last few years?
You're an experienced warrior, so teach me something.
Not a damn thing, lad. Not unless you pay me well. But first, bring me some good wine.
Fine. I'll go and get some. I'd like to learn from...
Where's that wine?
Again?
Always!
Fine. I'd like to learn...
Why not? And I've seen you fight, and you could be a bit more direct, my friend. Just forget about what it looks like, you get me? I'll show you how to take out your opponent without slitting him open from his neck to his arse. What do you say?
That sounds good. Teach me that.
Aye, I can see you like long swords too, eh? So listen, the trick is about speed and surprise. After stabbing with the sword, you immediately turn it around, and while sliding, you strike the sword's pommel forward. If you do it fast enough, the opponent won't have time to move, and you'll hit him right between the eyes. And now, come and try it a few times. Well, good, eh? Let it sit for a while and you'll...
I'd like to learn it...
Certainly. If you're a good lad, I'll show you one of my best tricks with a sword. Or how to quickly send the bastard who's against you to the devil. But it can only be done with a sword. And what's more, you can't have a...
That sounds good.
Of course. And the main thing is to attack from above. To quickly catch the opponent's wrist and push the edge of your own sword over his blade, so it's under his neck. If you do it right, I reckon I don't have to tell you what comes next, do I? And now, come and try it a few times. Well, good, eh? Let it sit for a while and you'll get it.
No, dry devil. Let me get him some wine.
Greetings.
I'll have a look at your...
Where that mud at?
Here you go. Take it.
Eat some of that food, mutt.
Look what I have for you. Here, Mutt.
Henry, crazy night. Then it is just...
You told me to come back for...
Yes.
I can hardly wait.
They won't wait. My secret recipe.
That looks rich.
I learned from you want more. Game is best, but dog alright too.
So I can bring you almost anything and you can make sausages out of it.
From anybody. But don't bring me...
I've got some meat that would...
Hey? Well,
Sorry. What'd you do before they locked you up?
what do you think? I steal food. You know that, hey? Ah, you mean before, like back. I was locked up then.
Oh, I see you're one lucky bloke. Also for food.
No, because of war. They take me prisoner. Want to chop my head off, but then find out I am a cook.
You're a cook?
No, but they not know that. So they lock me up in Castle on Rap.
And what did you cook for them? Sauerkraut?
Lucky there was Serbian cook there. He teach me everything. If you know her blue blood, being cook is not bad, eh?
And how did it all turn out?
Cook catch plague and die. Me, I escape back to Bohemia.
Teach me something then.
It will take some, but you give me some
Teach me if
Christ.
nothing beats good roast meat.
All right, we start. Shame there is no hops growing here.
All right, let's see what you talking about, Dry Devil.
I'd like to learn from a man.
You got that wine for me?
All right. Here you go.
Ready. What is it you want then?
I need to improve my sword.
Then sword fight. The main thing is not to soil your braze. No matter. All right then.
I'd like to learn.
You got that wine?
All right. You can ride off.
You snort. All right then.
Let's fight.
What would you prefer?
With real weapons.
All right.
I'll make do with just you.
On guard! Fight! Come on! Oh, well done, Henry. I give up. But I'd like a rematch to see.
I'll be happy to beat you a
Not today. Piece of shit.
What's that dreadful stench?
Let's go.
Already getting dark. Just a moment.
What a day that was.
Sakura. Looks like a late one again today.
I wonder what...
I better not forget about that council assembly.
Aye, come here. Aye, aye, you silly doggy. You're my doggy, eh? Look what I have for you.
Hey, lad,
What are you doing here?
what does it look like? Resting. I've been lugging these sacks for ages now. But I can tell you,
Look, you know you have something sticking out of your forehead, right? It looks a bit like a horn.
a horn. Nobody's called it that yet.
What is it then?
It's an arrow. Well, what's left of it, that is. A metal arrowhead and a bit of a wooden shaft. It used to be longer, but I broke it off after I nearly took a wench's eye out with it.
What? An arrow? Like from a bow?
Aye, an arrow. With an arrowhead, a shaft, and a fletching. Simply an arrow.
You have an arrow stuck in your head? Shouldn't you be, well, dead? I've never seen anyone with an arrow in his head who wasn't.
Of course I should be. Dead as a doornail. If it was an ordinary arrow, I'd be pushing up daisies. But it ain't no ordinary arrow.
Eh? And what's special about it?
Always questions all of a sudden. How about you tell me who you are first? Talking to strangers ain't the safest these days.
I'm Henry, the son of a blacksmith from Scalitz.
Oh, fuck. I heard about Scalitz. I heard it was real bad.
That it was.
Well, at least you got out in one piece. Look, the name's Carl. Folk call me Carl Arrowhead. On account of, well, you know,
How come the arrow didn't kill you then?
because it ain't no ordinary arrow.
You said that already.
Thing is, it's a magic arrow.
Yeah, right.
You don't believe me, do you? Sometimes I get mixed up in, let's say, some confrontation. And sometimes things get a bit dicey. I was always getting beaten up, wounded, battered. But ever since I had this arrow in my noggin, not a damn thing. No wounds, no bruises. Nobody can hurt me. They haven't a chance.
Well, that could very well be a coincidence. You're just lucky.
It ain't no coincidence. It's a gift from God. This arrow here blessed me.
Doesn't it hurt? Looks like a nasty wound.
Look, when God blesses you, you accept it for what it is.
So does it hurt?
Hurts like hell. And it fucked my eyesight up a bit. But that don't matter. It's still a gift from God.
Do you think it could be taken out? Can I touch it?
If you touch it, I'll rip off both your arms, shove them up your arse, and make you clap.
Easy! Easy now! I was just asking. No need to get upset. You're worried I'd get the magic too, eh?
No, I'm worried that you wouldn't march and step, and I wouldn't like that.
Why do you think God chose you to be blessed? What did you do to deserve it?
Well, I suppose all them good things what I did in my life. I take care of my people. I'm a good person is all. I reckon God's pleased with me.
I understand. You're simply undefeatable.
Exactly, lad. A whole year without a scratch. A whole year. And me and my lads got ourselves into some dodgy situations, I'll tell you that. But enough chat. I've got to get back to the camp. I've got a proposition for you. You lug one of them sacks here for me, and we can talk some more along the way. What do you say?
What's in these sacks, anyway?
Just stuff what folk leave lying around unattended. These days, everyone locks up their cottages, sties, coops, and who knows what else. They keep their valuables in their chests. Folk are plenty nervous. And then they go and leave a couple of sacks of charcoal lying around outside. And when you see something lying around, it'd be a sin to let it get rained on, wouldn't it?
That's an interesting way of looking at theft. And what are you going to do with this charcoal?
What do you mean? It's charcoal. It always comes in handy. So, will you help me?
And what's in it for me? Will I get a reward?
You youngsters is all the same. You should help your neighbour without wanting nothing in return. Like a proper Christian, eh?
True. But good deeds won't buy me an ale at the tavern.
All right, then. If you help him with the sack.
Well, I can't let you lug them all on your own.
Glad to hear it. Ugh. Them sacks are heavy as fuck, but I couldn't just leave them behind. A man can be invincible and blessed by God, but 2 sacks of charcoal is still 2 sacks of charcoal.
You're probably not a monk, are you? What are you, then? A bandit?
Ha! A bandit? Don't sound too good when you say it out loud. Bandit. Do you know who the real bandits are, in my opinion?
I don't.
Them lords, what hold their protective hand over us. They stuff themselves to bursting, hunt in the forests, start wars, and the ordinary folk has to do all the work for them. And when you get in their way, they string you up or beat you like a dog. Not even the worst bandit behaves like that. That's what people should be whipped for in the stocks, not for hunting a deer in some noble's forest, or picking something up here and there. We're just trying to survive is all.
How do you manage to survive?
That depends. Sometimes it's all right, other times it's brutal. Whenever we do a job, we put our necks on the line, but we only ever take enough to survive. And we never kill nobody. Well, unless it's really necessary, of course. But I suppose you're right. We're bandits. And sometimes it really fucks me off. You're a good lad. I hope you have a better life than me and my fellas.
Damn, this a long ass walk, ain't it? Shit. Hell. Damn. I don't fucking tell.
Ooh.
I dropped that sack over there, but... Look here. Don't you mind just leading me right into your camp? What if I let slip that you lot are here?
Why would you do that? You wouldn't get any reward for this band of nobodies anyway.
I suppose not.
Thanks for the help, lad. I'm glad you happened by and stopped to talk to me. Not everyone is willing to help. It's a rare sight these days.
I'm glad to be of help.
Here's some ale money. And I wish you good luck in these wild times. May God's favor be with you. But now, you should get going. The fellows get nervous when there's strangers around. The Lord be with you.
Did you hear Marish's gang were broken up?
You have a nice camp.
And who the fuck are you to care?
I'm Henry.
What are you doing here, Henry? You didn't choose the best place for a stroll.
Don't worry. I was just about to leave. I helped Carol, the fellow with the arrow in his head. I helped him carry a sack here.
Of course you did. Just more shit we don't need. Our Carol loves to steal things you can't eat or drink. Worthless shite.
Well, I think there was coal in that sack. At least you'll be warm when winter comes.
Haha. I hope we'll be long gone before winter comes and some lumps of coal won't be worth shite.
What about Carol's invincibility? That can't possibly be true, is it?
I see he's been running his mouth again.
He mentioned it.
He likes to mention it. Just by the by. But it's true. He used to be a walking disaster. Always sick, injured all the time. But then that arrow hit him. And it changed him. It was some kind of magic. Nobody can beat him. And it saved our skins a few times. Thank God. You could say, without Carol and the magic of that arrow of his, we'd all have been dead long ago.
What's life like here in the forest?
What kind of fucking question is that? What do you think life's like in a fucking forest? Life's shite for all the people you see here.
Is it really that bad?
Well, we're not exactly starving, but it's definitely no fucking feast. Carol is like some fucking priest. He's always saying, we don't need much, that we mustn't be greedy. So we're not greedy, and we don't have much. That's the final score. But, hey, what can you do? All of a sudden, he's the boss. And you have to listen to the boss.
Next time I come through, I'ma kill y'all folks. Just so you know, Bubba. That was a long ass hike. I wanna hit me one of them roll. Got him. Got him. Mm-hmm. Oh, they ain't gonna showing me their ass. Ooh, lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Oh, you just let me get close. You don't want to live. Yeah. The tournament is today? Damn.
I ought to go and see Rosa. She'll be expecting me. Ah, and I mustn't forget about the city council.
weapon.
One sec. Shit, we got a tournament to compete in. Let's go compete. Let's go compete.
Excuse me.
Christ. I came to get my...
Of course. Soon, my friend.
Henry, are you going to fight or what? Get in here, or you're disqualified!
Looks like he doesn't even know where to go.
Knew that Henry fellow wouldn't fight.
Did you forget how to walk?
Henry, are you going to fight or what?
I'm trying to go.
Who could easily make war their trade, will now be competing for Lady Fortune's favor. The famous winner.
Give me the gear for the next...
But of course.
As half of Gutenberg knows him already.
After him in a heartbeat.
Henry of Scotland. And who's going to face him?
Show yourself,
He entered the tournament to win over the heart of a fair maiden whose name he was too shy to reveal. But we all wish him luck and hope Dorothy will reward his bravery. May God and fortune decide. Contenders, get to it!
Ich reiß dir deinen Arsch auf! Hier!
Hear ye, people of Gutenberg!
What? The fuck? What happened? What happened? Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what happened with that, man.
Lord be with you.
I need equipment for the next.
You're right on time. Yeah.
We'll see a duel between two men, neither of whom is to be trifled with. A fighter of such experience, he can hardly be matched. Well known to all of us, thanks to his
I came to get my.
Of course. See you later, my friend.
Henry of Scotland. And surely he will face an equally brave warrior. Matthew the Minter. He entered the tournament to win over the heart of a fair maiden whose name he was too shy to reveal. But we all wish him luck and hope Dorothy will reward his bravery. I wish both of you the best of luck and a steady arm. Let your steel ring! Fight!
Ich reiß dir deinen Arsch auf! Hier! Hier!
I'm gonna stick you like the pig you are.
See what you can do!
What? Alright, so I'm just gonna have to skip the tournament this time. I'm just gonna have to get disqualified. I don't know what's going on with the tournament, but I don't know. I'm just disqualified from the tournament.
Good doggy. Good boy. God bless you, sir.
I came to get.
But of course. See you later, my friend.
to the art of the longsword. This is the most difficult and most beautiful art of them all, as it combines the best of the others. You're quite right to look forward to these duels.
I need equip, but of course. See you later, my friend.
Careful.
Now, we'll see a duel between two men, neither of whom is to be trifled with. A masterful fighter of great fame and renown, who has defeated many a skilled adversary. He has already triumphed several times and is here to defend his supremacy. Henry of Scots!
I'd give myself
And surely he will face an equally brave warrior.
Don't mess around. Give him
Matthew the Minter. He entered the tournament to win over the heart of a fair maiden whose name he was too shy to reveal. But we all wish him luck and hope Dorothy will reward his bravery. May God and fortune decide.
Glory to Kuttenberg.
I'm trying it again.
Let your steel ring. Fight.
Oh, God.
End of duel.
Mercy. Let me go.
Yeah.
Overpowered his opponent in the first round. Henry of Scots. He clearly has the advantage, but will he be able to use it? We shall see. Contenders, forward!
One more time. Just like that.
That's not fighting.
End of duel. You both put up a spectacular fight, but there can only be one winner. Henry! Henry! Praise God.
Good day to you.
Now, we'll see a fight between men who are no strangers to blades. Here we are! We'll soon know the winner of the longsword discipline. Welcome to the best swordsman of the day, Henry of Scots, who has already triumphed once today. Now his skills will be put to the test by a tough bruiser who's well known across the town. Lucas, nicknamed the Half-Friar. He studied theology in Prague and wanted to reform the local harlots. But instead, it was he who was reformed, so he abandoned his studies. Only he and the Almighty know why he has signed up, so pay close attention to him, and you may be surprised. I wish both of you the best of luck and a steady arm.
Fantastic!
Let your steel ring fight!
Victory or death!
Truly a joy.
first victory.
Let's go, man.
Henry of Skalitz. Victory's within his reach, but things are far from over. His opponent surely won't go down without a fight. Ready? Fight! End of duel!
Oh.
It's over! All hail the victor of the longsword discipline, who proved his mastery of the blade. We'll finish up the tournament with the free combat. Each contender
I'm here to return. Wonderful.
using his weapon.
All right. It's all.
And now, two great fighters go head-to-head. Today's longsword champion, Henry of Skalitz. We know our first contender. Now let's see who'll pit his strength against him.
I give myself this.
Stenyek of the Gate, an honest miner who will have huge support today. He promised to donate all his winning to the construction of St. Barbara's Cathedral. Watch closely. We'll now see whose skill proves to be greater. Contenders, get to it. End of duel. First duel. Henry. It seems
He won't
Lady
smoke with
Luck
Big
is
Henri,
on his
baby.
side. Let's see how fickle she is today. For the glory of Gutenberg, let the duel begin.
You're the toughest bloke around.
No mercy!
End of duel. A second hard-earned win for this famous and truly mighty contender.
Glory to Henry!
Henry of Skalitz.
Mm-hmm.
In
Just read my book.
a moment, we'll see a duel between two skilled.
Excuse me.
No time to lose. Get to it.
All back, no fight.
Can't win by stalling. Fight, damn it. He's just stalling. Finish him.
You're swinging it like a train.
Fucking good. Ah, Domka.
End of duel.
Yes,
Contender secured the first victory.
Glory to Henry.
Contenders, get to it.
I feel quite hungry. Talk about like a candle.
End of duel.
Let me go.
No words needed. You saw it yourselves. Free combat champion. Hear ye, people of Gutenberg. We've seen many good duels and a few great ones today. Let's thank our brave contenders for that. Praise the Lord for giving us such a beautiful day. And let us pray that in time we may meet here again to hold another glorious tournament. God be with you, good people of Gutenberg.
God grant you health. Stick it back in your belt, eh?
So we can sleep peacefully. It has therefore decided to collect food supplies from the city to send to our brave defenders that they may live better. Anyone wishing to donate something to the army can go to the town hall every Sunday.
Here, Mutt.
I don't know what you said to the Mint Master, but he left here looking like he'd met the Grim Reaper. Now, God be with you.
Farewell for now.
God be with you.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear who died?
Ha! I thought it was old Bart, but then I heard him coughing his lungs up in.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book. Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
He had his whole life in front of him.
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
Why don't you tell me what you find so compelling about it? It's your favourite book, right?
Well, let's say that I identify with the author. We share a similar view of the world.
And who is the author? I didn't find a name in the book.
That's on purpose.
You wrote it, didn't you?
Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers.
Ooh.
Will you escort me?
Christ. What now?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. What should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
Well, being a man myself, a man, I suppose.
Why not? And what kind of a man is he?
You mean I have to think up a name?
You don't need to, but try to describe him so I can better imagine him. With a single word, even.
There've already been enough heroes, saints, kings, and martyrs. So an ordinary person.
That's 2 words, but I'll forgive you. And do you want it to be an ordinary villain or an ordinary do-gooder?
Make him a villain. Real scum, like a murderer or a thief.
You seem to be quite enjoying this. What of your conscience?
You mean whether I've ever done something bad?
The lines between good and bad are fairly blurry these days. But have you ever done anything against the law?
I'm a warrior. Things like that are part of this life.
I understand. But when you stand against an enemy, do you still perceive him as a person? Or just as something you have to kill in order to survive?
Of course I know it's a person like me. But I can't think that way for long. And not at all in battle. There, it's just him or me.
That is probably true. Well, we still have work to do. So, you proposed a murderer. What has driven him to this act? What was his motive?
What about revenge?
Cold-blooded, bloody, and best of all, unjust. I like that.
Did I ever tell you that you scare me a little sometimes?
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Have you ever seen anyone play a flute? So sit down and pretend you're playing one.
As you wish. But promise you won't laugh at me.
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. So what about that story of ours?
I haven't read it.
Well, go make amends. So what about that story?
It's nice. It reminds me of the fairy tales I heard as a child. Some scared me so much I nearly crawled under the table. But that's just the way fairy tales are.
My dearly departed mother used to say that the Twilight Witch would carry me off if I misbehaved. And it seems Father still wishes she would at times. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely,
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's...
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world, or if you prefer actions instead of words, but I warn you in advance that it will not come free. So,
I'd like to... What's the last...
you'd better believe it. I only read interesting things.
Could you teach...
Of course, but I warn you in so.
I'd like you to... You shoot...
I prefer the...
Will you teach me?
I wonder if you can knock her doonies down. Let me look it up and see. Let me look it up and see. I gotta get Henry all the bunkie he can get. Let's see. Alright. Let's reload it because I want a better. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, let's go back. We're gonna get some of that Rosa.
I'm sorry.
Weave.
Hear ye, hear ye. The city council has decided to help King Sigismund's army to keep watch so we can sleep peacefully. It has therefore decided to collect food supplies from the city to send to our brave defenders.
We're gonna knock down all the doonies we can.
I don't know what you said to the Mint Master, but he left here looking like he met the Grim Reaper. May God be with you. I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
By the way,
My
as I... And then...
You really,
I read a bit of it.
Did you hear who died?
I thought it was
Why don't you tell me what you...
Well,
And
that's on.
you wrote.
Look,
Me?
how should I?
Not a chance.
That's a tempting note.
Wouldn't you?
What's the...
There's.
No. It was Jan. The beanpole.
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers.
Bed healthy.
Will you escort me?
Never woke up.
My pleasure.
How should?
You haven't thought...
No.
Both.
Just, I'll take.
there are heaps of stories about men.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that...
I think above all that she should be clever.
And isn't that rather detrimental for a girl?
Only fools say that. Jilted half-wits who met girls smarter than themselves.
You'd be surprised. My father is no fool, but at times he wishes I were more of a goose. Or better yet, that I would change overnight into a sun. But if the lady in our story is clever, should she employ her wits for good or evil?
I'm for good intentions. If we come up with an interesting woman, it would be a shame to write her as evil.
I agree. Too bad it's only on paper. I'd like to meet our lady in the flesh.
Well?
Not yet.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, especially if you...
What?
Imagine a beautiful lady is...
I'd rather keep what I do to myself.
Well,
Fine.
you're suffering...
Yeah.
So what about that...
Too bad there aren't more books like this. If there were, I might end up turning into a scholar.
Really? I'll take that as the highest possible compliment. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really.
But otherwise...
Well, and for that matter, you're an...
No beating around the bush. Please do stop by sometime. Perhaps I can show you my...
You said you could...
If you ask...
Very well, then.
That depends, or if you prefer. But I warn you in advance. So...
I'd like to... What's...
You'd bet...
Could you teach?
Of course, but I warn you so.
I'd like if you shoot...
I prefer...
Will you teach?
Cool.
My respects.
I apologize.
I don't need your apologies. I need you to get the fuck out the way.
A fine day for some fine...
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Next time, it'll...
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
That's none of your concern.
Oh, really? Then about face and go back where you came from.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're worse than a horse dealer. Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. In for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Or do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Who opened that? This place is under guard.
Careful.
Find it! Hey, for some fine wares!
May God give you health.
You're seeing this.
Huh?
God bless you.
God bless you.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Wonderful! I'm celebrating today, you know? Healthy and strong as you...
That's really something.
Thanks, friend. You know, for a long time. And wouldn't you know?
Aye. Herb.
Work it did, and how. I mean, some people's bollocks, if you ask me. There's... How about you, friend?
Not yet.
True. Children are when they... But...
What do you want?
Well, you
too. And what's your step if...
See you later, my friend.
What was the point of that fucking conversation? Waste my damn time.
You're always welcome here, good sir.
Greetings. What do you want?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
Well, I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Well, to tell the truth, I'm not exactly an expert.
You're off to a great start, but whatever. If you make a mess of it and the king has you whipped, you've no one to blame but yourself. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Farewell, my friend.
Come and take your pick.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Big strong boss.
Franta Cooldown sent me.
Franta's not coming.
He got poisoned. He's writhing in agony.
Oh, that's enough. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap. Without a tunic, you're no... And have you forgotten your hole? You can put your steel aside in front of the council. You don't want to be dragging a... The royal waiter's livery has strict rules.
Alright. Hat.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap. A tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around table. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, Behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not...
But he walks around my yard.
I know everything I need to.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
There are the pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
The army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Hogmer in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the dry
I
devil,
apologize, sir.
used that thing.
Which wine?
Raid that Hackentree. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying
Sir?
is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when
you,
outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize
I
what
fancy some
Schwierigkeiten
Tokai.
this is.
Refill, boy.
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubricker everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
I'm sorry,
And
sir.
who is it you want to fight?
Orders from
Exactly.
above.
This is unbelievable. King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
It's not that long ago that some bandits burned down Bohunovitz. Nobody dealt with them. Or as far as I know, even
Tokai
started
and the full
investigating. Der König has his own
I
concerns
apologize.
at home, and one day he will withdraw his army.
I apologize, sir.
The king may
Which
turn up
one?
at any moment. What have he heard you?
Right. What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're
Sir?
right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
Well, we can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around.
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
I fancy some Tokai.
Isn't it the same
Refill,
thing?
boy.
So,
That's not
the
a good
cleanliness
idea,
of the
sir.
city
This is
not
unbelievable.
what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
Hey, waiter!
My friend Adam from the baths in Haradek district told me about it.
More wine, Master Bailiff?
I have enough
He's just
wine.
envious.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
You know what?
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths, unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Nice.
Keeping the city clean is
Whose
important,
silver might this be?
but we don't have money to spend.
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
Back to it.
A trifle. Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty
Tokai!
honors us with his
And the
visit.
full cup.
And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well,
Hey, where's my wife?
Sir?
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Thank the Lord.
just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me.
Hey!
Are you
boy,
defending Rutard?
Full cup of monastery
Besides,
wine.
if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this
Sir?
case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about
Thank you,
it.
waiter.
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think
You there,
Rutard
lad.
will cause
A
any
cup of
trouble. He is
And don't
sensible
you
enough
skimp on
not to
me.
draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true.
Sir?
Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end
Well,
to him,
thank the
and
Lord.
soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
I'd like
Be
some white.
specific, Forsooker. Are you
I'm
blaming
sorry.
one of us?
I wasn't paying attention.
And look who spoke first.
First of all, it wasn't a duel. It was supposed to be an honorable combat. And I didn't even take part in it.
And that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody, you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me?
Ah, never mind.
Hey! I suspect
Waiter.
the gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom.
Refill, sir.
Do you think I come to the council just to guzzle wine?
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored. And because I told you. Get on with it.
Settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us.
That was
all
easy
day
enough.
long.
And he wanted me to count
What
the
if they
winged
had one more
figures.
reason?
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon...
So, let's see what you've got for me.
We'll never get anywhere like this.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers.
Hey, waiter!
Right under our noses.
Pour me some Tokai.
It's
I'm
just a
sorry.
village with a monastery.
I wasn't paying
And they are
attention.
going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a
Sir?
war going on? Are the experts from far off?
You, lad!
The city under
You
siege?
look familiar.
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your
Well,
complaints.
naturally.
Are you
I
do?
go to your
Do
tavern
you?
almost every day.
And
Really?
what would that be?
Then
Like,
you must
for
have decent
instance,
wages
that
to be
you'd
able
like
to
to
visit the
have
best
your
tavern in
altar
town
there.
regularly.
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha!
Hey, boy!
I think
Full
not.
cup of monastery wine.
Excuse me. You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the
Sir?
services our guild provided and still provides
It's
to the
you?
crown.
Well,
I see you've
I
come
hope
up in
you're
the
not
world.
supplying
From
equipment
a
to the
black
army.
boy to a waiter.
That's all they have.
You'll go a long
They would
way.
be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided
Boy,
and threw them
I'd like
all
some
out.
white.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I apologize, sir. Which wine?
White Tokai.
Good, sir.
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azon al Juchek Ose, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra,
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. See more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
God be with you, my friend.
And with you.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Excuse me. I'd better not drink.
Better communion wine than kosher, is it?
It's easy for him to rouse people to walk when he has nothing to do.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That horse son won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain... shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. and I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
I'd rather discuss those alliances sober.
Be right back in a second.
Prince of Peace.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. And he's a great...
I'd like to check your horses out. And see if they're as good as you say.
Ha! Even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well. We have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher would sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
You don't know which end of that thing is up! Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist!
God be with you.
Good day to you.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. That you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea. Up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, it doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! May I have a word with you?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation, unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson, but at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Why, I'm telling you, it's like my arse is on fire. I try to go just once every 3 days.
And users. Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
And someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place, as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush. I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
I must sadly decline, sir.
Huh. I'll take that personally.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed? Without reservations?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
That tree will still be here long after we're gone.
And that's exactly why we mustn't push.
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze, and the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. Ever since leaving Rattay, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
Jesus Christ be praised!
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg lords.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is away.
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Who did you learn from? In my experience, women...
I acquired the basics from my husband. God rest his soul. And the rest I learnt quickly, as soon as others started sniffing around his estate. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harmon Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded.
What the? Hey, you! What are you doing here? No one's allowed in here.
I'm waiting here for you.
Oh, how's that?
I've been watching you for a while, and I have a feeling you do well to talk a little. In conspectu Dei.
Who in God's name are you?
In God's name indeed. I'm a priest, and I know a wretched sinner when I see one.
Is it that obvious? Christ above.
Don't blaspheme. It'll help you more to confess.
And in the morning, when I met him, I swore I never laid eyes on his daughter. Even though my back was scratched raw from our roll in the hay.
That's a mortal sin. Lying with a woman that you're not joined with in holy matrimony. And then lying about it too. That's already 2 commandments broken for the price of 1.
I'll go to hell for that, won't I?
You won't. As long as you repent. Be contrite, fast and pray. 10 Our Fathers. Ego te absolvo.
I'll start right away. Thank you, Father.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, With all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh. Rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Surely it...
I'm
Margaret Lobster.
The roast was calling out
Did you say that Lord Constadt was going with them? No, so what? He left a long time ago.
Must be maiden in her pew. Parish priest has quite a view. Sweating at the altar. Nearly drops his soul. Hallelujah, Domine. Hallelujah, Domine.
Godwin!
But that is about to...
How'd you like her wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son, and each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if he'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence.
with grease. The roast was calling out to me, begging to be eaten.
I couldn't... A word with you, friend.
You in need of something, my wild friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Oh, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of week-old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
What? About the girls? Or the piglet?
Not a bad one. Same to you. But it's more suited for a ride in the woods or a hunt. No use at all for battle.
You don't need an expense.
Christ be praised, sir.
Greetings to you.
Having a good time? It's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few females worth the sin.
I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what a fuck-up that would be.
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. And his own kin at that.
Leave it out. They forced my hand.
No, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asking for it anyways.
Well, let's have a game then. But for what?
For coin. What else?
Let's make it 50 groschen to spice things up.
Nice. If I'd known you had that kind of coin on you, I'd have pinched it long ago.
God be with you, my friend. And with you? God be with you, my friend. And with you? Greetings to you,
Want to roll some
Sure.
Playing for coin's a bore.
Well, I might have something.
And what might...
Let's keep it a surprise.
What the hell?
You bet it will.
God be with you. God be with you, my friend. God be with you.
Wonder rule. Sure. I don't play. Oh, you can stuff yourself enough.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let... How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Jobst. He sorted things out here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a... I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. The wedding will take place at our castle Lititz, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, my lady.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to listen to it, day in, day out.
A little gossip. You act like you don't know the world of the law.
See you now. Yep.
Good evening, my esteemed lady. I haven't yet had the opportunity to make your acquaintance.
No matter. I know who you are, although Martin hardly spoke of you. From what I heard, I could conjure up a pretty good picture.
Would you kindly introduce your 2 companions?
This is Lady Christina, second wife of Lord Binyek of Nostitz. She's standing in for him here today.
Nice to meet you, sir.
What's your opinion of the outcome of today's assembly?
That it's about time. Although at the onset it looked like everyone here would carry on arguing like fishwives at the market. But in the end, it seems the agreement arrived at will bear fruit.
How come your husband didn't come?
Because he's been rotting for nearly a year in the king's captivity.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mom. I pray that God shall return him to you soon.
I've been praying for it since the day I got word of his captivity. Perhaps worldly powers will come to our aid once the promised army turns up. One hopes.
It's rather noisy here, Mom. Don't you think?
It is, a bit. But that's all part of celebrations, and today we have cause for celebration, don't we?
Wouldn't you prefer a little privacy? I'll gladly escort you.
Restrain your ardor. You're not the first to try and lure my girls somewhere out of my sight. If you want to amuse yourself with them, I insist on being present. Or you may be on your way.
But I had no wish to.
And while you're on your way, we're quite thirsty from all this constant chit-chat.
Do I look like a servant to you?
No. But surely you wouldn't leave these young ladies to suffer thirst. Be so kind to bring us another pitcher of wine. I don't know what's in those kegs, and I don't intend to try it out.
Then we'll have to discuss it.
Of course it's a horse. Not a bad one, but it's more suited for a ride in the woods or a hunt. And no use at all for battle.
You don't need
You're wrong. In a battle, your life depends on your speed. It's not easy to speak calmly. Think what fancy your name?
At least you can tell by the name that the horse is immensely valuable.
Oh, we all agree that the name
God bless you, sir. God bless. Anyway, looking at him closely, I reckon he's more of a draft horse. There are a few of those around my mind, too.
I beg your pardon?
What kind of name is Bruce Phallus?
May I interrupt you for a moment?
You already did, didn't you?
What's the matter?
Everyone keeps saying that the prettiest girls in the whole county serve the Oderans at Raborsh. I didn't believe it. But I can see there's some truth in it.
What are you blabbering about?
Haven't you had a little too much wine, perhaps?
Not at all. I could drink every man here under the table. Want me to show you?
No need. I believe you.
Stop bothering us and go pester someone else. Dasha isn't interested.
Bad one.
May I interrupt?
You already did.
What's the matter?
One of the most esteemed guests ordered...
All over the place. Are you blind?
I meant the really fine wine. The kind that Martin Oderan will drink.
No way. Sir Martin ordered for it to be served only to him and a few of his favorites.
Have you seen the state he's in? Tomorrow, he won't even remember what was agreed here today. Anyway, he'll never miss one jug of wine if it disappears.
All right. Them pictures are on a table in the cellar. But you didn't hear it from me.
Now off you go and leave us alone.
Looking at him closely, I reckon he's more of a draft horse.
Isn't it?
There are a few of those around my mind, too.
I beg your pardon?
First army that crossed his path, he would never have made it all the way here.
Couldn't you have run out when you stopped?
Everybody likes a drop of white.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rudart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir!
There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to this celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Come on with it, Godwin. Come on with it.
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
Haven't had enough yet!
Show your stuff.
Yeah, let's go on and change that. Oh, y'all done messed up now.
Show your stuff.
Bashing on the head! Ah! Kill you! Help me! He won't give me back! Bashing on the head!
For God's will, dodge!
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin.
How did you get... Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone all right?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Oder and Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobst long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
Where did they go? Back to Ratoi?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while. Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either. We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Berghow did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
You want to give up now?
Nobody said anything about giving up. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, and get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
And what am I supposed to do? Can I help somehow?
You've done enough, don't you think?
And I'm sure Liechtenstein can't wait to find out what was discussed at the city council.
The king announced one more thing. To ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews. Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone... I want to know about it. I'll be with...
No, you almost took him of a That dry devil is tough as old boots. Fell on me.
Here you go. Take it.
My temper's lost his life. What about your horse? I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he survived.
The best thing we can do. Maybe he'll come back doing our work. Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
One construct captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves.
As greedy as a pig. Leave it alone. Two of you. Now we're in it.
One construct captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves.
As greedy as a pig. Leave it alone. Two of you. Now we're in it.
What if the old lord doesn't come back?
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
What happened when von Berghoff hauled you off?
It was a dreadful journey. It was a bit better in Malashov. Apart from being locked up.
Did anything happen along the way?
No. But it took ages to get to Malashov. I was traveling with von Owlitz's minions. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a really...
What did they do with you in Malashov?
Nothing much, actually. They took care of my wounds, and then stuck me in a room with Brabant. But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Berghoff came asking questions a couple of times, but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room. It's a good thing you got me out of there.
Well, what was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. You saw I was... When they shot the tower right down on my head and I was stuck there. Well, since then, I don't feel well in cramped spaces. Actually, I never did. I always preferred to be either feeling the roof would fall on my head again and
I understand. It's a bit awkward for you that the nobility lives in castles.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, I'll build a new... And above all, no secret passages.
Great. I'm really looking forward to this new castle of yours.
You can be the castellan or something. Don't worry, I won't forget you. I'll even have a forge built so you feel right at home.
They didn't let you out at all? But you were in that room for ages.
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. We even went out for a ride twice, but they watched us like hawks. Not a chance of escape. But most of the time we were in that room. Like I say, I'm really glad you got me out of that hole.
What did von Berghoff want from you?
Just the usual courtesies. The captivity of nobles has to observe certain formalities, you know? It's not like they can just throw you in some hole. They behaved fairly respectfully, but of course he was fishing for information about Radzig and Hanush and especially Jobst. What they're planning, how many men they have on the field, who else they're negotiating with and that.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot. I only told him they sent us with that message and discussed the rest when we were gone.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit, and then he tried to loosen my tongue by letting me go hungry for a while. But he soon gave up when he saw he was getting nothing more from me.
My word. Nice work keeping him at bay. But the main thing is, you're alive and kicking. And back with us.
Indeed.
What do you make of this Brabant fellow?
He's unquestionably a remarkable knight, that Vakalin. He rambles on a lot, though. My head nearly burnt, although it was better than being stuck there alone. Otherwise, he seems to me like a bold and, if a little obsessed with wealth.
I agree. And he's got a score to settle with Sigismund.
He certainly has.
Soon he'll get married and have a fun too.
We can only Jobst finds out about this.
I don't know. I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his blade and his spear on fire.
Jobst finds out about this. Good doggy. Good boy.
What will happen to his lordship now? And to us?
We have to take care of young Sir Christopher and hope his father comes back soon.
Yes. The best thing we can do is to keep doing our work.
Greedy as a pig. Here, niggas.
Alright, your boy got to go eat, so I'm gonna be out for a second, but I'll be back in soon. Until then, it's your boy Crunch Time Diego signing out. Peace.
Woke up and smoke a L, yeah, I light to the sky. Yeah, I always be 100, I ain't telling no lie. Yeah, I pin up to the pad, gotta write my rhyme. Yeah, I'm hitting on the weed, I'm getting high. I'm tryna go ride till the sun come up.